Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another class at the Comic Book University. I'm your host, Professor Bill. And have you ever wondered what would happen if the Ghost Rider went up against the Avengers? Well, this actually happened in December of 1981, issue number 214 of the Avengers. You can see there on the front cover that they're advertising, pretty soon the Spider-Man and his amazing friends is coming to TV. I miss that show. It should have gone more than a season. I mean, seriously, what a great show. So we start off with the Ghost Rider, specifically Johnny Blaze. He's in the desert and he's kind of mulling and he sees this Ferrari go driving by and this guy with this girl and he's just like, oh man, look at this rich fat cat. And meanwhile, I'm wondering when I'm going to get my next meal because, life isn't great for the Ghost Rider. In fact, in the Ghost Rider comics, he used to be #1 stunt racing and all these different circus stunts, and he was beaten recently. He's not #1 anymore. He's #2 at best. Well, one of the main reasons for this is that the Ghost Rider Zarathos personality is really starting to take over more and more, and he's not as in control, and especially when he gets upset, when he's feeling bad, and then he changes. Zarathos has a lot more control over him. He knows Warren Worthington III, the angel from the Champions, and that's who's actually in the car, and he doesn't realize it. But he forms a motorcycle out of his Hellfire, and he races the car and passes it with ease, and then stands in front of it. So the car's kind of got to wobble and wave and goes off the road and crashes, and both of them are hurt, but they're okay. I mean, the girl and Warren Worthington, they're okay, but Ghost Rider goes right after Angel, and he's like, aha, I knew it, and he rips off his shirt, and he's got his wings tucked and tied behind him so he can look human. Well, he puts a really good beating on him. First, they just race, and Angel can't even beat Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider's using his bike, and he's going over terrain, and he's beating Angel, who's trying to fly. And Angel is known for being able to fly really fast and pretty effortlessly. So it's a testament to how fast Ghost Rider can move. Well, Angel wasn't even trying to actually race him. He was trying to get him away from his girlfriend so that he could pummel him. And Angel isn't beating Ghost Rider. Not on any day of the week. I don't care how big his gun is. I don't care how many friends he's got with him. I don't care if he packed a lunch. He ain't beating Ghost Rider. So Ghost Rider put the easy smackdown on him, sends him to the hospital. Well, the Avengers get wind of this, and right now it's only Captain America, Thor, Tigra, some people say Tigra, whatever, and Iron Man. And these 4 Avengers are only 4 now because Wasp has to take some personal time off because she was upset because just 2 issues ago, Hank Pym, Giant Man, Ant-Man, Yellow Jacket at this particular time, he'd really just lost it and went bonkers. He'd already hit Janet. This was a big storyline, big deal. And he just had his little trial for recently killing a guy named Egghead. The guy wasn't even dead, and I know it's a dumb name, but it's actually a fairly interesting character. Anyway, so Captain America is really upset over this. The whole team is really upset over this, but, it is what it is. Well, they have to go out to New Mexico, and they have to stop the Ghost Rider. Well, they meet up with him soon enough, and Captain America and Tigra are on a motorcycle and chasing after Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider is able to turn around and blast them both with Hellfire. Now, what this does is the penance stare, essentially. Realistically, it does the exact same thing. It burns the soul. And yeah, the penance stare is worse because it causes it to be a constant over and over repetition thing, but it's a very similar feeling. These cold flames that come over you, and they attack your soul. They don't attack your body. So Tiger is out of it. Captain America's hurt too. Iron Man shows up, and one hit, one knockout, Ghost Rider takes him out. His eye slits are open and his mouth guard is open, so the Hellfire is able to go in there, and it tears the heck out of Tony Stark. Well, he goes after Thor. Now, Thor isn't going to be affected by the Hellfire because he's a god, this guy's a demon, and, they're way too evenly matched in that regard. But Ghost Rider, as Zarathos almost at this point, is a lot smarter in this regard. Thor throws his hammer, and the Ghost Rider on his bike actually outraces the hammer. That's right. As fast as Thor throws this hammer, Ghost Rider's able to drive faster than it. And just as the hammer slows down and arcs to come back, Ghost Rider's like, I knew that was enchanted. I knew that was enchanted. So, sorry, I just got finished doing my Luke Cage thing, and I don't really need to wear this thing anymore, do I? And it's Danny Ketch that had the chain that had the Hellfire on it. Anyway, so Ghost Rider grabs onto the hammer. Now, he can't wield the hammer, use the hammer. The hammer's going back regardless. That's what's going to happen. He's just kind of holding on to it and allowing himself to come back with that momentum of the hammer returning to his hand. Now, he tries to guide the hammer directly into Thor, but it slows down and arcs a little bit to return to Thor's hand. Again, that's the enchantment. And Zarathos, Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, didn't know that. So he was able to get a good shot on Thor, but not the shot that he was really hoping. And it probably would have knocked Thor out. But it didn't. It just took him down and really made him rethink his strategy. Well, everybody's back up now, and Cap's trying to rally them to continue going forward. And this is a really great moment here because Tigra is just, she's not ready for this again. She says, I can't, Cap, you've experienced the exact same thing that I experienced. How could you possibly be ready to go back and face that thing again? And Cap says, because when it comes down to it, the fact is, we can't let him do that to anybody else. And he's lost his marbles. So, right there, Tony Stark. Now, I know there's the whole Captain America, Marvel, Civil War. Oh, these guys went at it then. They've gone at it many times. I really can't think of a number how many times these guys have gone at it. Over and over and over again. Their ideals just clash so much. You got selfish and selfless. And literally, these two are opposites of each other. So they always clash. And here's one of those moments where Tony Stark, he won't say this, but it's a thought bubble. And it just says, unbelievable. This guy, he's got no weapons. This shield is a shield. It's not actually a weapon. It's a weapon in his hands, but anything is a weapon in his hands. But he says, this guy has no weapons like Thor does. He has no armor, no protection, covering his body. He's got no superpowers. He's a regular guy with a discus. And he's the bravest and toughest out of every single one of us because he's not afraid to go back and face what just happened. And it's just another one of those moments. I actually didn't read this comic as a kid, but it would have been just another one of those moments that would have indelibly put Captain America in my heart and just made me say, yeah, this is just such a great character. The praise that he gets all the time, and he's not interested in any of it. He deflects it and gives it right back to you. But moving the story along, they go back and they are able to catch the Ghost Rider again, and they're not necessarily able to beat him this time, but Warren Worthington III shows up. Now, Ghost Rider was actually just trying to go back there and finish the job because he's like, oh, no honor amongst thieves. You call the Avengers after me? Now I'm going to have my true vengeance and I'm going to kill you. He was really, jumbled in his thoughts. It's not quite vengeance, right? So Angel shows up and he's like, look, man, this isn't you. And, you would never do things like this. You and I have, battled together in the Champions, and I don't know what you're doing right now, but I know that you're really upset and you're really depressed at life. And I think that that's the reason why you're acting this way. And the Zarathos demon is quenched and Johnny Blaze comes out and he's like, yeah, you know what? I've really got to figure life out. And this is the point where not too far later, Ghost Rider got a huge donation, a gift from Warren in order to buy that circus, that the Quentin circus that he was at, and this made life a whole lot better for him. And it calmed him down, and he was able to control the Zarathos demon just a little bit better. A lot better, but, you know, for all intents and purposes, it's a demon that rivals Mephisto. I'm just saying. So the Avengers decide not to pursue because Ghost Rider was guilty of all this stuff and Johnny Blaze wasn't. And that's pretty much how the story ends. But it was great to see these guys clash. And it was one of the very few times that Ghost Rider crossed over with other heroes. And yeah, it was a great read. Really great read. Guys, I'm Professor Bill. Class dismissed.